Hello, everyone, and welcome to the DC English Podcast, where you learn American English easy and fun. I am Nora.
Hello, Nora. Hello, everyone. I am Noah. We are so happy to have you with us today, hosting you right from Washington, D.C.
How are you today, Noah?
I am doing well, Nora. A little sleepy, actually. It is one of those gray, rainy mornings here in D.C. The rain is just tapping softly against my window, and it makes me want to stay under my blanket with a very large cup of coffee.
I know that feeling. A rainy morning. It feels like the whole world is moving a little bit slower today. I'm actually sitting by my window, too, watching the raindrops race down the glass. It's very peaceful.
Peaceful, yes. It is a good day for a quiet conversation.
It really is. And speaking of quiet conversations, that leads us perfectly into our topic for today. You know, Noah, I was thinking about something this morning while I was watching the rain. I was thinking about how many people want to learn English, but they feel like they are stuck.
Stuck? What do you mean by stuck?
It means feeling like you cannot move forward, like you're in a place where you want to go somewhere else, but there's a wall in your way. Many of our listeners feel stuck because they think they need a teacher or a classroom or a speaking partner to make progress.
I think I know that feeling. It can be very frustrating. Frustrating means it makes you feel upset and annoyed because you cannot do what you want to do. You want to speak English, but you look around and there's no one to talk to.
Exactly. And today, we want to break down that wall. We want to show you that you can practice English all by yourself. You don't need a partner. You only need 15 minutes of your day.
15 minutes? That is such a small amount of time. Do you really think 15 minutes can make a difference?
I do, because it's not about how much time you spend, it's about how you use that time. We have a special plan called the 5-5-5 method. It's designed to be easy, calm, and very effective for your brain.
The 5-5-5 method. I like the sound of that. It sounds organized.
It is. But before we explain exactly how it works, if you are enjoying this quiet space with us, please take a moment to like this episode and subscribe to the podcast. It helps us know that these conversations are helping you feel safe and confident in your learning.
That is a great idea. A small action, just like our 15 minutes. Okay, Nora, I'm ready. Let's dive into the vocabulary and the plan. What is the first part of this 5-5-5 plan?
The first part is 5 minutes of focused listening. Now, Noah, when you listen to English, do you usually just have it playing in the background while you do other things?
Usually, yes. I might have a podcast playing while I'm washing the dishes or walking to the store. It feels like I'm learning, but I'm not really thinking about the words.
That's what we call passive listening. Passive means you're not actively participating. You're just letting the sound wash over you. While passive listening is okay for getting used to the sounds, it isn't where the real growth happens. To grow, you need active listening.
Active listening. So active means I'm actually working.
Exactly. Active means you're engaged. You're paying attention with a purpose. For these 5 minutes, we don't want you to just hear English. We want you to hunt for it.
Hunt for it? Like a hunter in the woods?
A little bit like that. Instead of just letting the words pass by, you listen with a specific goal. For example, before you start your 5 minutes, you ask yourself a question. You might ask, what is the person's tone of voice? Or what is the main idea of the sentence?
Tone of voice. That means how the person sounds, if they are happy, sad, or angry. So if I listen for the tone, my brain has to stay awake to find the answer.
Precisely. When your brain is looking for an answer, it becomes much more alert. Alert means being wide awake and ready to notice things. This small change turns 5 minutes of noise into 5 minutes of real learning.
I see. So instead of just hearing a stream of words, I'm looking for clues. Clues are small pieces of information that help you solve a mystery.
Yes, you are a detective. And once you find your clue, once you answer your question, you can listen one more time just to enjoy the melody of the language. That's your first 5 minutes complete.
Okay, I think I understand. 5 minutes of active listening with a goal. It sounds very manageable. What is the next step in our 555 plan?
The second part is 5 minutes of speaking. And Noah, I know this might sound a little strange, but you're going to practice speaking even when you're completely alone.
Speaking alone? But Nora, if I'm alone, who am I talking to?
You're talking to yourself. We call this self-talk. Self-talk means the conversation is happening inside your own mind and out loud. It might feel a little silly at first, but it's one of the most powerful ways to build fluency.
Self-talk. Silly but powerful. Why does it work so well if there's no one else there to correct me?
Because speaking is a physical skill. It's not just about your brain, it's about your mouth, your tongue, and your breath. When you speak out loud, you're training your muscles to move in new ways. You're building muscle memory. Muscle memory means your body remembers how to do something without you having to think about every single movement.
Muscle memory. Like when I ride a bike or tie my shoes. I don't have to think about it anymore. My body just does it.
Exactly. If you practice the movements of English words alone, your mouth will be ready when you finally do talk to a real person. You won't be struggling to find the shape of the sound because your muscles already know it.
That makes so much sense. It takes the pressure off. I don't have to worry about someone judging my mistakes if I'm just talking to myself in my kitchen.
Precisely. There's no judgment in your own kitchen. You can be as messy or as imperfect as you want. So, Noah, now that we have established that speaking alone is actually a physical training, let's look at the 3 specific ways you can do this during your 5 minutes.
3 ways. Okay, I am ready to take notes in my head. What is the first method?
The first method is describing your routine. This is very simple. You just narrate your life as it happens. You act like a commentator for a movie, but the movie is just you living your day.
A commentator? Like in a football game? Noah is now picking up his coffee cup. He is taking a sip. Oh, it is very hot.
Exactly. It sounds funny when you say it like that, but think about the benefit. When you say, I am opening the fridge or I'm looking for my keys, you are using the present continuous tense. Present continuous means you're describing something happening right now.
Present continuous right now. So instead of just thinking keys in my head, I'm actually saying the full sentence. I am looking for my keys.
Yes, and that is where the magic happens. You're connecting your physical actions to English words in real time. It bridges the gap between your thoughts and your speech.
I see. It makes the language feel connected to my real life. Not just something in a book, but something that belongs to my kitchen and my morning.
Precisely. And the second method is one that many people find a bit intimidating at first, but it is incredibly effective. It is the mirror method.
The mirror method, does that mean I have to look at myself while I speak English?
Yes, Noah. You stand in front of a mirror and you talk to your reflection. Now, I know what you're thinking. Nora, that feels a little bit strange. And it might, but there is a very important reason for it.
It feels strange. Why is it important?
Because English is a very expressive language. It isn't just about the sounds, it's about the energy and the facial expressions. When you look in the mirror, you can see if your mouth is opening wide enough for certain sounds. You can see if your face looks confident, or if you're frowning because you're worried about grammar.
So I'm checking my performance. I'm making sure my face and my voice match the emotion of what I'm saying.
Exactly. If you're practicing a greeting, like, it is so nice to meet you, you can see if you're actually smiling. If you're asking a question, you can see if your expression looks curious. It helps you build presence. Presence means the ability to be fully noticed and felt in a conversation.
Presence. I like that. It's not just about being correct, it's about being seen and understood. And what is the third method, the one you mentioned earlier about playing with sentences?
That is my personal favorite. I call it the repeat and change game. This is perfect for when you want to practice grammar without feeling like you're studying a textbook.
A game? Tell me more. How do we play?
It is very easy. You start with one simple, solid sentence. Let's say the sentence is, I want to drink tea. Now you repeat it. Then you change just one word. I want to eat bread. Then you change another word. She wants to eat bread.
Change one word. She wants to eat bread. So I'm changing the subject from I to she.
Yes, you're practicing how verbs change when the person changes. You're playing with the structure of the language. It's like building with Lego blocks. You have the pieces, and you're just moving them around to see what else you can build.
Building with Lego blocks. I love that image. It makes grammar feel less like a set of scary rules and more like a creative tool.
That is exactly how it should feel. If you spend your 5 minutes playing with these sentences, you're training your brain to be flexible. Flexibility means being able to adapt and change quickly. When you finally speak to a real person, your brain won't freeze because it's already practiced these small changes hundreds of times.
I can see how that would build confidence. It's like practicing a dance move over and over until it feels natural.
Exactly. Now, Noah, we've covered the 5 minutes of listening and the 5 minutes of speaking. We're almost through our 15-minute plan. The final pillar is the third 5 minutes.
And that is the reading and writing part, right?
Yes, but remember, Noah, we are not talking about heavy academic writing. We're talking about low-pressure writing.
Low pressure writing. That sounds much better than a school essay.
Much better. For this part, I want you to write just 3 to 5 sentences. That's it. You can do this in a small notebook or even on the Notes app on your phone while you're sitting on the bus.
3 to 5 sentences. What should I write about? Should I write about my feelings or maybe what I did today?
Anything that feels real to you. You could write, the rain is very heavy today. I am drinking coffee. I feel calm. Or if you saw something interesting on your walk, you could write, I saw a small dog in a red sweater. It was very cute.
That sounds lovely. It's like keeping a tiny diary, a micro diary.
A micro diary. I love that term. And if writing feels too difficult on a certain day, maybe you're feeling particularly exhausted, you can swap it for 5 minutes of reading.
Reading? What should I read? If I pick something too hard, I'll just get frustrated.
Frustrated means feeling annoyed because something is difficult. And you're right. If you try to read a complex newspaper article, you'll feel that frustration. Instead, I want you to recycle your content.
Recycle my content. What does that mean?
Remember how we talked about listening to a short clip for 5 minutes? Well, if that clip has a transcript, the written version of the words, you can spend your reading time looking at those same words. You're seeing what you just heard.
Oh, so my eyes and my ears are working together on the same thing.
Exactly. This is a very powerful way to learn. When you see the spelling of a word at the same time you hear the sound, your brain creates a much stronger connection. It's like seeing a map while you're walking the path. It makes everything much clearer.
I think I'm starting to see the whole picture now, Nora. The 5 minutes of listening to find clues, the 5 minutes of speaking to train my muscles, and the 5 minutes of writing or reading to connect the sounds to the words.
You have it perfectly, Noah. It's a complete cycle. And when you do this every day, even if it's just 15 minutes, you're building a foundation that is much stronger than someone who studies for 5 hours once a week.
I feel much more confident about this now. It doesn't feel like a mountain anymore. It feels like a small, steady path.
Noah, before we finish, I want to take a moment to speak directly to our listeners. I know that even with this 15-minute plan, there will be days when it feels hard.
Yes, there will be days when you just don't feel like doing anything.
If you feel that way, please listen to me. I understand. I know what it is like to want to improve your life, but to feel like you are running out of energy. I know the feeling of looking at a language and thinking, I will never be good enough.
That is a very heavy feeling.
It is, but please remember this. Perfection is not the goal. Progress is the goal. If you only manage to do 5 minutes today instead of 15, that is still a victory. If you make a mistake while talking to yourself in the mirror, that is not a failure. It is a sign that you are practicing.
A sign of growth.
Exactly. Be kind to yourself. Learning English is a journey, not a race. You are doing something brave just by showing up today. We are so proud of you for being here with us.
That was beautiful, Nora. Thank you. I think it's time we help our listeners remember exactly what they can do starting right now. Let's do a quick recap.
Let's do it. The 15-minute daily habit. Part 1, 5 minutes of active listening with a specific question or goal in mind.
Active listening. Part 2, 5 minutes of speaking alone using self-talk, the mirror method, or the repeat and change game.
And part 3, 5 minutes of simple writing in a micro-diary or reading something easy to connect your eyes and ears.
And don't forget the 1 word a day rule. Pick 1 word, learn it deeply, and use it.
And finally, remember to stack your habits. Attach your English to your coffee, your breakfast, or your evening routine. Make it a companion, not a chore.
A companion. I love that. It makes the whole process feel so much more peaceful.
It really does. Well, Noah, I think we have given them everything they need to start their journey today.
We certainly have. Thank you so much for joining us in this rainy DC morning, Nora. It was a lovely conversation.
It was. And thank you to everyone listening. We have one question for you today. What is your 1 word for today? Is it peaceful? Is it determined? Or maybe it is exhausted? Tell us in the comments below. We love reading your words.
Yes, please share your word with us. We're cheering for you every single day.
Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.